Hey guys, it's AJ with Design the Everything. Today we will be using Fusion 360's cam to cut out a case that I already designed for my calipers out of this piece of maple. If you want to see how I created the design, I just did that in my last video. Go back and watch that one before you watch this one, and that'll show you where the design came from. So let's switch over to the Fusion here. This is half of our case. I have the other half in another file. I'm going to start by going to the cam portion of Fusion 360, and we'll start with a setup. So first thing we need to do is set up our stock, relative box size, and I actually want the offsets to be 0 of everything. Because I'll be cutting the wood to shape, or just the rough size on the table saw, and then just only putting in the pockets. I'm not going to be dimensioning the wood with the CNC at all. Now that we have our stock set up, let's go to back to the setup tab, and we need to move our stock point, or in other words, the 0 point of this model. I'm going to put it right down here on this corner, and then change the orientation, and I'm going to set the Z-axis. So the Z-axis, I'm going to click on this side here. Yep, and the Z-axis is up, Y is that way, X is that way, which is how my router works, so that'll be right. I'm going to hit OK. So this will be the bottom left what we're actually cutting. Now that our setup's done, we need to do our milling operation. None of these have vertical curves, so they're all going to be 2D operations. I'm going to go to 2D Pocket and select these profiles. There's our 3 different operations there. Our tool is going to be a 1/8 inch flat. And then our speeds and feeds, 24 is a little bit conservative. Let's go 35, 35, 35. And I always like to have a low plunge rate, so let's just change that to 20. The geometry looks good. Heights, those also look good. Passes, now these are we're going to have to change. We want incline milling. We do want finishing passes this time. We'll just do 1 with a step over of 0.0125 looks good. We'll turn down the finish feed rate just a little bit. Let's do 25. And maximum step over, we're just going to turn down a little bit. How about 0.09? Step over cusps. Okay. Hit OK on that. And it will generate all of our toolpaths here. Now I missed something. There should have been multiple depths on this with my little wimpy CNC. So I'm going to go back. Let's go back here to passes and check this multiple depths button. So I'm going to scroll down here. The maximum roughing step down, 0.04 is too conservative. Let's do 0.075. Might still be conservative. Let's do 1 finishing step down, and we'll leave it at 1/8 thou, and only finish a final depth. So we don't want to leave any stock, because we don't have to do this multiple times, and we should be okay. I am going to go over here and click smoothing, and again scroll down, and then leave the smoothing tolerance as 0.04. That helps reduce the size of the G-code a little bit. Let it regenerate again. And there's our toolpath. So I'm going to go up here and hit the simulate button. I'm going to hide the toolpaths, but I'm going to show the stock. Change it to wall paint. I wish they had a better choices on these stocks. Should take 25 minutes to run. Everything else looks good. And let's hit play. So starting with the edge pocket there. Fast forward it a bit. Then it goes to the other pocket and the other pocket. And now it slowly clears out the calipers. All right, so now we can go and look for any material that it's left. All right, so looking at this, it doesn't look like it's leaving any extra material, which is great. That's why we put all these fillets in, so what it's cutting out should be exactly what we're expecting. That should work. So I'm going to hit close, and that looks good. I'm going to save this, and now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. I'm not going to show you that because it's exactly the same thing, but even simpler. So here's the other side. You can tell it looks exactly the same. I used all the same tools, all the same setup options, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this now. I'll be back in, well, it'll be about an hour my time between all the setup and the cut time, and I'll show you what it looks like. So it's actually been a couple of days since I did the rest of the video, but I went ahead and finished my case. This is that same piece of maple. It has a Danish oil with a stain in it as the finish, and you can see the yellow hinges, which I'm not a huge fan of. I might replace those with black, or I have some silver filament that might work better. But the caliper fits nicely down in there. I did have to go through and make some of the areas a little bit wider with a chisel, especially on the hinges here. I did a lot of chiseling around the hinges. I just mismeasured or something. But other than that, it's perfect. There's basically no jiggle to it, but it does come out easy enough. It goes back in. If you if you look at my design, you may notice I made a mistake. So this little notch right here, that was not in my CAD. And that for this little knob, it was in the picture, but when I did the model for the top half, all I did was take into account the circle for the dial. That knob was in the way, so I just drilled that out with a Forstner bit. But as you can see, it goes together, it works, it closes. I might do some improvements to this in the future. I think there's a lot of wasted room on the inside. It could have a pencil or maybe a slot for my little ruler in there. But overall, I'm very happy with it. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you have a request for a future video, please leave that in the comment sections below, or a question about this video. If you'd like to see future videos as they come out, please subscribe.